Do it. Here we go. So the game that I'm reviewing, hold on, let me get into my review thing.
Tingles Rosie Rupee Red.
Boom, here we go. Okay, so the game that I'm reviewing today. Oh shit, I fucked this up. You guys aren't on here. Well, I'm not gonna fix this now, so you guys can just be in the background talking. Um, but so here's the game that I reviewed is Nioh, and I've been playing this for a while now. The first time I ever played it is when it came out, but I never finished it. I actually only finished it fairly recently, just a couple weeks ago. And we had been playing on stream. And it's like it has become one of my all-time favorite games. When I first played it, I was like, okay, this is rad. But oh shit, we can't hear you guys. That's a problem too. Okay. Well, sorry guys. This is the Paul show until this review is over. Okay. I just realized they can't hear you guys. All right, that's fine. Anyway, I'll definitely have to go back and fix this. But let's see. Anyhow, let me get to the outline here. So the game is available for PlayStation 4 and PC. It's actually going to have a re-release, like a remaster, along with Nioh 2 on PC and PS5 in February. I think February 5th. So I'm very excited about that. I really wanted to make sure that I finish this game before Nioh 2 comes out, which I hear is even better than this game, which is mind blowing because this game's fucking incredible. So that's really cool. That's where you can find it. It's developed by Team Ninja, which is the same people who have made the recent, and I say recent, but like within the last 10 years, Ninja Gaiden games. It released originally in February of 2017. You can get it for about $50, but a lot of times it's on sale for between $15 and $20 on Steam, so definitely worth checking out. And yes, I did die actually way more than 161 times, but I kept a death counter through my playthrough, which was pretty fun. But what did I like about the game? Let's get into that. It's a samurai game. So right there alone gets me freaking hyped. Yeah, so it's also a Dark Souls game, but not officially, right? It's just very Souls-like, which I enjoy those games actually more and more now. I used to hate them. But as I've gotten a little more patient, I've come to really, really enjoy them. I think they're some of the most well-designed games ever. So this is definitely up there with those. In fact, to me, these games exceed Dark Souls. I think these games are better than the Dark Souls games. That might be controversial. A couple reasons I feel that way are, number one, the combat's better. It's just better designed. It's tighter, more responsive. Number two, you have way more build options, which is pretty freaking rad. And number three, instead of being like the open world style, kind of like the other Dark Souls games are, it is it's episodic, right? So like you have an overworld map and you get to select missions one by one. And there's a bunch of sub missions. There's like fucking several layers of New Game Plus. There's just a ton of content in this game. So there's a lot to be liked about this game, honestly. What do I not like about the game? To be honest, there's not very much. I mean, there's certainly times I get frustrated with it, but overall, the game is really solid. The story's good. While kind of basic, it's still good. It's got a really cool spin on Japanese history. That's another cool thing about the game is like every character in the game is a real historical character. And it takes place during the end of the Warring States period in Japan, which is cool. Let's see here. So yeah, there's not really much I don't like about the game. How is the gameplay? Was it fun? So in typical Dark Souls style, it's difficult. It's very difficult, but it's very fair. I often compare it to Sekiro, which is not fair. It's very difficult, but not fair. It's just totally unforgiving, and you have to be a god to beat that game. Whereas this game, if you grind your ass off and you learn from your mistakes, you're gonna have a fine time getting through this game. You'll be able to do it. Which is badass. So the gameplay is very good. The art is excellent. Um, it's again kind of that grimdark style, but they do a really good job of representing like Japanese yokai, which are like the mythological demons in Japanese mythology. And it they do it in a gorgeous way, so that's good. The music, to be honest, the music is probably one of the few things that I wouldn't say is weak about the game. It's just like when I'm playing the game, I don't notice the music as much because it's usually so intense. There is good music though, and it's kind of cool Japanese style music in certain areas, but I couldn't just name a song or hum a tune from the game because I'm so involved in what I'm doing that the music's just probably the last thing I'm thinking about. It does do well with like musical cues though. So like when you come into danger, it definitely switches the music style, and you've got boss music and stuff. So it's there for sure. Sound design is also pretty good. You can always like there's little kodama, little green creatures hidden throughout the entire level. And you can always tell when one's around because you can kind of hear them bouncing around. Also, if you pay attention, you can hear certain monsters. Like in the gameplay, you probably saw just a little bit ago, there was like a wall that was actually a monster. You can actually hear those if you're paying attention. Um, so there's good sound cues in the game for sure. So I think they did a good job with that. How long did it take me? A long time. It took me a long time to beat this game. Um, I couldn't tell you how many hours, and technically I'm still playing it because, like I said, there's a big end game. So once you beat the main story, there's also, I believe, two full story expansions, as well as I believe 5 layers of New Game Plus. Um, and so you can keep playing this game for a very long time. You can put hundreds of hours into this game if you want to. I would say that like a really skilled Souls-like player is going to spend probably about 40 to 50 hours beating the main story, maybe less. And this is for a first try. I'm not talking like speedrunners or anything. Um, but uh but an average schmo like myself is gonna take a little bit longer. And so yeah, it took me a while, but I enjoyed every freaking minute of it. Was the game difficult? Yes, very, but like I said, fair. Would I play a sequel? Yes, and I plan to. Like I said before, the sequel is coming out in February. I believe it's the 5th. I could be wrong about that again, but I'm pretty sure it's the 5th, and I'm very anxiously looking forward to that. And actually the sequel is already out for PS4. If you own a PS4, you can play the sequel now, which I do, but I'm waiting for the PC version cuz that's where my friends are going to play it. So that's what I'm waiting for. Let's see here. Overall rating and impression of the game, I'm going to give this game a not a perfect 10, but cuz here's the thing, we give out such high numbers on this, right? We do play good games. Just a reminder they can't hear you guys right now. But um like I would like to give it a perfect 10, but I think that's just me looking at it through my weeb colored glasses. So but I would definitely give it a solid 9.5 or higher. 9.5 plus. We'll put that at the end of that. Um is the game worth buying full price? I would say yes, but it's on sale very frequently, so do wait for a sale if you plan on playing it. Um, And yeah, you can watch my previous streams right now. We're using a stream of it if you want to check the game out. But let me switch back so we can get the other hosts in here. And yeah, so hang on one second. That is my review.
My one
And they're back. Sorry about
And we're
that. I gotta fix that.
question is, how does it stack up compared to Ghost?
How does it stack
Yeah.
up compared to Ghost? Okay, so they're
For you.
two very different games.
That different.
Very
damn.
different games. Ghost is like a you know, it's kind of it's more like a Zelda game, honestly. Like
That's what I was
to
thinking
me,
you would say,
Ghost feels
yeah.
more like a Zelda game. And that game's incredible. That's my favorite game that I've played this year. You know,
That's
so
great,
I would
yeah.
say Ghost probably. I don't. Yeah, so you know what? I think my original review of Ghost was a 9.5, and then with the additional content that they released, I amended that to a 10.
Yeah.
So so yeah, I mean it's up there with Ghost as far as rating is concerned for sure. I enjoy the hell out of this game. Like I said before, it's become one of my favorite games of all time, maybe. So, but yeah, I don't think you can really compare those two games, even though they're both samurai games. They just, one is more like Dark Souls, one is more like Legend of Zelda. Is
Nice.
kind of how I would explain that.